everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing another tack, Duke is making noise, another tack cleaning Q&A because I feel like I haven't done one of these in ages. I have a lot to update you on. You guys have also asked some very juicy questions. Here we have Casper, who is covered in shavings because as soon as I put him in his stable, he has gone and had a big roll. Also appreciate the tash because it won't be there for long. When summer comes, he just loses his moustache and it's so sad. And then Joey, I don't know what he's doing. Let me see. Joseph! Oh my gosh, he's rubbing his butt against the haylage. Hello, mister. Yes, literally, just before we were filming, he was licking his wool, he was like causing havoc. And then now you've like just gone, you know what, I'm going to rub my bum against my haylage. That is probably not very sanitary. No, anyway, they have some swingers, so I'm going to get those for them. No, Joey, keeping that closed. Am I going to be able to reach? Joey, can you just back up your heifer lump? Thank you. Good boy. Can I reach? Oh, you know what it is. You're going to get smacked in the head if you're not careful because it's quite heavy. Joey. There we go. We have the swinger. Okay, I'm going to get out of the way because I'm literally going to get covered in it. Okay. Well, we have a happy Joey. Of course, cannot forget about you, Casper. He was looking at me like, what about me? What about me? Okay, back. Oh, can I reach yours? I'm going to have to jump. Okay, back up. There we go. See, you know that, oh my gosh, Casper has shavings all over his back. There we go. Okay. The boys are happy. They have got their snacks. I'm here. I'm going to be cleaning Joey's bridle today. Don't worry, Duke has snacks as well. He's all happy too. So, yes, while I'm chatting, you can watch these guys wrestle with some Silvermoor swingers. Anyway, you guys asked me a lot of questions, so I'm going to do my best to try and answer them because, again, as I said before, I feel like would you a bit of a catch up, a bit of a chat. There's a lot I need to update you on, lots of exciting things coming soon. So let's start off. Toby has entered the chat. Let's start off with, what should we do? Okay, first one is from Esmes.Connie, who's one of my fan pages, and she says, have you ever been spotted in your local petrol station or corner shop and had to chat? So I've been spotted in lots of random places. Obviously, if I go somewhere like a horse show or a tack shop or that sort of thing, then I am more likely to be recognised because there's a larger, horsey population, which I always love meeting you guys. It's like meeting a friend you never knew you had. So it's always nice. Also, you guys often tend to be horsey as well, so I just end up chatting ponies. I've been recognised at a petrol station once before. I was filling up my car and it was when I had COVID. So I didn't realise I had COVID at the time. I thought I was just a bit unwell. So I probably looked absolutely awful. And it was one of my older fans. She was probably in like her 40s, so it was really lovely chatting to her. Like, her family watches my videos and that sort of thing, and I felt really bad because I wasn't too chatty because I was just very poorly. And then that's when I found out I had COVID. So that was, I want to say, last year. And then I've been spotted a few. I feel like I get my friends realise that I've been spotted more than I have because often people look at me when I'm not looking at them. So I just thought for ages I was the most unobservant person ever, when actually there is a reason. So there we go. But no, I'd say security at an airport. That's quite a fun place that I've been recognised often when I go shopping, restaurants. I don't know, just like random places. Oh, toilets. For some reason, public toilets is where I get recognised a lot. So there we go. Airports as well, they're probably the places I go to most often, I guess. Also, can we just talk about how for today's video, we have, normally my tack cleaning stuff is a little bit crusty, dusty, musty because I use it so often, but we have brand new saddle soap today. Thank you to my sponsors, Voltaire Design, for some new tack cleaning things, and also my tack. I don't know what it is, but the smell of this stuff is honestly so good. So good. Okay, what else? Sorry, we are doing a tack cleaning Q&A. I'm just, chatting away. Am I planning on getting another horse? This was also from Ronagletat. I'm really sorry. I really did not pronounce that correctly. This is a question that I have had a lot. I have, the whole time, my whole YouTube career, everybody always wants to know if I'm going to get another horse. Now, I think it still feels a little too soon. It still feels a little too soon to be looking or thinking about that yet, but there probably will be another horse at some stage. Do I know when that will be? I have no idea. It's just one of those things where it's like I'm not actively looking, but if the right one crosses my path, then I'm open to it. You know, we've got space for another horse. I mean, it is really nice having an even number of horses because we have 3 at the moment, so it is nice having an even number. I do quite like that. But yes, and before I'd always say never, but you never know. You never know. I'm not sure it's not going to be like next month or something like that, but I don't know. We will see. So that is a very open-ended question. I definitely will get another horse at some stage. It's just how soon is the question. How soon? Okay. I did say ask me juicy questions. So this is from Harriet._.massey and she says, have you ever had a stable crush? Now, last time I was kind of like at a stables because if you didn't know, I come from a non-horsey family. So I first started learning to ride at a local riding school and stables, but I kind of left that riding stables when I was 9. So I think I've been there like 4 or 5 years. And so at that age, I was not having any crushes. I was also a very late bloomer in that development. Like, I don't know, I just didn't really have many crushes when I was younger or growing up. It wasn't until I was kind of like older. I guess, obviously I did pony club. I'm actually still friends with a lot of my friends that I did pony club with, like especially the boys as well, but no, not in that department, no. I don't know what horse boys, I don't know. Not for me, personally. Maybe it's because I've had friends who have been traumatised, although I've actually got a few friends that do date other equestrians as well, and they're very happy and they've been together like 4 years and that kind of thing. So I don't know, I've never dated anyone in the horse world. Maybe it's because my life is so horsey, like it's my job, it's my hobby. I'm like, you know what? It's nice to have some you know, time away from horses. What else? Oh yeah, so yeah, no. Also, the other time I was at stables was when I was about 15. I volunteered at my local stables for my Duke of Edinburgh award. But again, like, there's not many, I don't know where all these equestrian boys come from, honestly, because you go through pony club, you go through like riding schools, that kind of thing. There are like no boys. It's very like female dominated. And then suddenly, top levels, if you look at all the top show jumpers, they're all dudes. And it's like, where have they come from? Who are these people? Where have they come from? Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just my local pony club didn't have that many boys. But anyway, there we go. No equestrian kind of, yeah, stable crushes, especially as I keep my horses at home. So if I did have a stable crush, then it would literally be no one because I'm the only one that keeps my horses here. So there we go. Next question. Okay, well, we're going to have to go on to this one because it works kind of well for the last question. Mia Jemmy X asks, who is my biggest celebrity crush and why? Oh gosh, we're going for all the juicy questions. I mean, there are some very nice Formula 1 drivers, but I have too many connections in the F1 world to say who, because that's a little bit too close to home, you know, in case they ever watch this. Not that they would, but, you know, in case any of their friends or family tell them, I'd find that a bit weird, especially if I ever end up meeting them. You never know, you never know. I'm going to have to say, just because this popped up on my radar the other day and I rewatched it. So anybody who's kind of my age probably grew up watching The Hunger Games and Divergent. I was that kind of era of teenager. So I'd probably say 4 in Divergent, or Theo James, who was recently in the series The Gentleman. I'm going to say him. Okay, moving on. Talking about this stuff feels weird. Especially my dad behind the camera. Okay, moving on. Who is my favourite horse if I have one? Now, this is from Esme X Ponies. Now, whenever I do meet and greets or whenever I do like live Q&As at horse shows, this is the question I get asked most. Now, I feel like this is such a cop-out answer, but I do not have a favourite horse. I love them all the same. My horses are like my children, but I do have something in my family called Horse of the Week. So the horse that's been like the best behaved or the one that's been the least naughty or cheeky, they're often Horse of the Week. So I think this week, Joey has been horse of the week, actually. He's been a very good boy. He, we've been doing lots of stuff with him, and he's just been very lovely, he's been very cuddly, actually. He's been like extra cuddly. I mean, Joey is a very cuddly horse as it is, but he's just, I don't know, I think because the sun comes out, he's just like a little bit more sleepy, a little bit more, oh, I'm sorry, Casper, is it because I've not called you horse of the week? Yeah? They're demolishing their swingers. I feel like I've turned around and they've already, actually, Joey has demolished his. Casper's, you haven't even made a start, mate. I mean, it's more in his forelock than in his tummy. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, I'd say Joey is horse of the week this week. But overall, love them the same. Cannot pick a favourite. Saz from Shaz says, do I have any competition plans for Joey this summer? Now, this might be a little bit controversial, but I don't really enjoy competing that much. Like this, I don't know, I think that's like maybe like a bad thing for me to say because I know this is my job and I literally work with horses all the time. But you know what? I would much prefer to go to an arena hire for an hour, have some fun with my horse, low pressure, gonna come away with a positive experience, than go to a show that's busy, full of people, stressful, lots of pressure, not that fun, and you only ride for like 2 minutes while you do your round or your dressage test, and that's it. Like, I don't know, maybe it's something I've matured with age, but I think also mainly partly due to my job. Like, I've seen so many Olympic riders, talk to them, or top level riders at the top of their game, and I see how much work and how much effort they put in to be at that level. And I'm the sort of person where it's like, if I'm going to do something, I like to put my all into something. And I didn't have the money or the time to be able to do, you know, that sort of level of competition. So I don't know, like if I did, it would be for fun. Like, would go to a local little show, take Joey out, he can make some horsey friends, I don't know, that sort of thing. But for me, like honestly, I would much rather take my horses to an arena hire, do everything at my own pace, less stressful, more fun, or go for a hack. Like, my horses absolutely love hacking. And I think, I don't know, it's just my job on social media is competing with everybody else who posts on social media. So, you know, I quite like to have horses as my hobby, if that makes sense, even though like they're part of my job. I don't know, I just taking them to the beach, taking them up on the hills for a blast, like that is their favourite things. And I think when you're a horse owner, your top priority isn't to compete the highest or jump the highest or, you know, go do this, that or the other. Your top priority is making sure you give your horse the best life possible. And for my horses, their favourite thing is to go out hacking. So obviously I'm going to go out and do that, if that makes sense. But of course, like, I want to be a better rider. I'm working on my fitness at the moment to be a better rider. And of course, I want to improve and that sort of thing. But I'm not going to do that where, you know, I'm pushing my horses too much or they're not enjoying it, because their happiness is my top priority, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I don't have any like plans on like going and doing this, that or the other. But you know, if something comes along and I'm like, you know what, I think Joey would really enjoy that, I think that would enrich his life, then yeah, we might go and do a like local dressage test or clear round or show jumping kind of thing. But I don't have any like top plans at the moment. What is the most valuable life lesson you've learned in the past year? And that's from bluecloud_175. Now, this might sound a little selfish, but I'm going to say put yourself first. I think that's because I'm such a people pleaser. I'm always thinking about what other people want, how I can, you know, make other people happy, when actually, at the end of the day, you live your life, and you know, if you're living your whole life to serve other people or to please other people, then that's not going to make you happy. At the end of the day, you have to like yourself, you have to love yourself, you have to put yourself first and live the life that you want to live. And, you know, some people, you know, everybody's different. Some people want to live certain lives, some people want to live other lives. Like, some people want to work with horses, some people want a city job. There's no wrong answer to what life you want to live. But at the end of the day, put yourself first. Let us be. So that's what I'm going to say. I don't know if that's a good thing to say or a bad thing to say, but I think if you're a people pleaser like me, do what you like. As long as it's not hurting anyone and it's not upsetting anyone, then do what you want. If you want to wear a certain type of shorts or jeans or I don't know, do you, because at the end of the day, if you're not making yourself happy or pleasing yourself, then what's life, you know? Anyway, sorry, that got really deep. We're going to move on now. But I hope you got the right take from that piece of information that I've given you. Ooh, okay, so E_Mapley_ says, what is my most embarrassing thing that's happened to me in public? Ooh, okay, there's probably quite a few here. I don't know, like, I'm one of those people where when I was younger, I used to get I was really self-conscious, really embarrassed of everything that I did. I mean, there's literally a video of me jumping into a muck heap on my YouTube channel. I mean, embarrassment is scared of me nowadays, but I don't know, I'm trying to think, like, I've probably like tripped over in front of loads of people. I mean, for example, the other day I was at a business kind of conference thing with the RSPCA, and I actually forgot to tell the story in my podcast, because if you want to hear more embarrassing stories about my life and you're enjoying today's tack cleaning Q&A so far, just hearing me chat. I know a lot of you guys like to clean your tack along with me while I do this, or listen to it while, I don't know, you're washing your dishes or cooking your dinner. I would love to watch YouTube while I'm cooking dinner. Maybe that's not very safe. Anyway, moving on. Yes, the other day I was at this afternoon tea kind of conference thing, and they had this like tart, and it was a savoury tart, and it was filled with peas. It was actually really good, but oh my gosh, I felt like I was on a hidden TV show when I was eating it, because it was the most messy thing to eat. I was the first person to eat it. I took one bite, peas everywhere, all over the table. And this was like, you know, all these people, there was a lot of people that I have not met before that I was talking to, and we were talking about, like, you know, really serious stuff, like trying to do stuff with this animal charity, and then all these peas just went flying, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna try to like scoop up all these peas now. It was a whole ordeal, but I mean, that was pretty embarrassing. I mean, like, I've fallen off a lot of times at Pony Club in front of all my friends. One time it almost into poo, or maybe it was a little bit into poo. So there we go. I'm going to leave that with you for now. So there's enough embarrassment for one day. But yeah, listen to my podcast if you want to hear more embarrassing stories, because I basically just say weekly what silly thing I've done. Okay. Oh, okay. This was probably the second most asked question, and that is, well, this person in particular was Amelie.m.team, and she says, update on Batman, ? If you didn't know, if you're not a regular listener to my podcast, Batman is my boyfriend. There is not too much to update you on, because we're still long distance at the moment. He's in the Seychelles. If you hadn't seen my Seychelles vlog, go and check it out after this. But yeah, he's still in the Seychelles. He is literally back in like a few days' time. Oh, you can tell this is a new one because I'm gonna take the foil off. Super satisfying. Oh, that wasn't very satisfying. There we go. Smells very good though. Tell you what, I have used so much of this leather balsam over the year that I don't even know if I'm going to need to put much on my bridle, because it's already super soft. But I tell you what, sometimes just putting like a little layer on, I find it makes the dirt like clean off better. Maybe that's me, because it's like kind of got like a little bit of an oily barrier. That's it. That's the word. Sorry. Back to Batman. So yeah, Batman, you probably would have heard about on my podcast, but He's doing well. He's going to be home soon, so I'm looking forward to that. So then you'll probably get more chatty updates. But yeah, a lot of people ask, do I have a boyfriend? Am I single? What is my relationship status? There we go. So yes, I am taken. I have a boyfriend. That's it really. Don't really know what else to update you on. But yes, there we go. That is, okay, next question. Moving on. Ooh, this is a juicy one. So Celia.eq asks, what is my biggest equestrian/horse ick? I think it's got to be giving your horse zero or very, very little turnout. Now, don't get me wrong, there are exceptions. For example, if your horse is on box rest for medical conditions, or like it's literally unsafe for your horses to be outside because of extreme weather situations. But most of the time, I feel like there's no excuse to not give your horse turnout. Like all of my horses, even in the winter, they are out for the majority of the day. Like they go into bed at bedtime, but during the day they are always out. And And I just think that's so important for horses to be horses, for them to be able to graze, to forage, to have friends that they can groom with, that they can be around. And I feel like we owe horses at least that, you know, to just be outside and be a horse. I know there's like some people who won't turn their horses out because they're worried about injuries. I mean, Joey here, he has had injuries and I still turn him out. He has his turnout boots on. They keep him nice and safe. Also, I feel like people who have super, super expensive horses and they're like, I don't want to turn them out because I'm worried about them getting injured. If you have enough money for a horse that you're that worried about getting injured, you have the money to buy yourself an all-weather drainage turnout field. Like, come on now. Like, seriously, just I'm pretty sure they've done studies that horses that have less turnout are more prone to injuries. Like, if I was a horse and I didn't get to go outside, I mean, even as a human, if somebody said to me, sorry, Esme, you can't go outside anymore, I would go stir crazy as well. So anyway, that's my biggest ick, people who don't give their horses turnout, because it's so important. I don't know, I just find it mind-blowing that people don't do that. So no turnout is probably a big one. E&C_adventures says, what is my least favourite horsey chore to do? This was back when we had hay, but it would be filling up hay nets. I know we have haylage now, so haylage is better because our haylage is from Silvermoor, if you didn't know, same as the swingers. So shout out to them for giving me haylage. My horses really like their stuff. Anyway, their stuff is all like dust free. So when we had hay, I found when it was so dusty, I hated filling up the hay nets. I mean, filling up nets is probably still my least favourite job. I don't know what it is. It just is a bit of a faff. I can't lie. Like, I don't know. I'd much rather, or clipping. I think it's just because clipping, it makes you so itchy and you just get hairs everywhere. So maybe clipping. I would much rather muck out 20 stables than clip 10 horses. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Let me know in the comments what your least favourite horsey job is. I quite like poo picking actually. I do find that very satisfying, although it has to be the right time of year. Like when it's super muddy, that's not as fun. Or if the grass is really long, then that obviously is a little bit more difficult. But I actually find poo picking really satisfying. What other questions do we have? Oh, well, picking out hooves. Picking out hooves sometimes I find, I don't know, especially in the winter when your hands get all muddy, and I don't know, sometimes that I find I'm like, hoof picking. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But overall, I'm happy to do all horsey jobs, because if you're doing horsey jobs, it means that you have the privilege of having horses in your life. Oh, this is quite an interesting one. Martezel EQ says, do you ever get bored of being an equestrian YouTuber? I feel like if I was bored of being an equestrian YouTuber, then I must be doing something wrong, because I always say in order to make good content, it has to be content that you're passionate about and that you enjoy and that you feel like creatively fulfilled, because if you're not enjoying what you're doing, then people aren't going to enjoy watching your content, like as simple as. So I at the moment very enjoy being an equestrian YouTuber. I enjoy it's such a privilege to be able to sit here, chat with my horse. Oh my gosh, Casper, your moustache. Look at it. It's gone green. It's filthy. Oh my gosh, Casper's given up with his swing and now he's gone for his haylage. He also has shavings all over his back. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, but no, I'm in such a privileged position to be able to call this my job. And I think one of the things that I'm most grateful for is getting to work for myself. Because at the end of the day, if there's like a family emergency and I need to be around, then I can just be like, okay, I'll do that work tomorrow, you know? I mean, there is lots of benefits and cons to working for yourself, but at the end of the day, I'm, very, very lucky to call this my job. I mean, I go through stages, I think if I ever go through stages where I'm like not enjoying the content that I'm making, then I just, change it up a little bit. Like my channel has evolved so much over the years. I mean, I've been doing this a long time. I've been doing this, almost 10 years. I mean, my channel is technically 10 years old. We celebrated the channel's 10-year anniversary back in February. Although I didn't actually start posting until the end of 2015, I want to say. So normally I just say 2016 is kind of like when I started posting regularly-ish. So it's been a while. I've been doing this a long time. I've grown up on YouTube, and I've done like lots of other things like outside of the horse world as well as on my channel that, you know, they're things that I'm passionate about. For example, like when I was renovating the cottage, which I'm still doing. If you haven't seen my latest cottage reno video, go and check that out because we're doing a big garden transformation, lots of spring cleaning. It's a very satisfying one because I know you guys love my satisfying spring cleaning videos, so don't worry. The plan is for next week to start filming some more spring cleaning stuff because I know you guys love that. Also, let me know in the comments what videos you would like to see from me, because obviously you are the ones that are watching my channel, so I do want to make content that you guys are looking forward to or enjoy or that kind of thing. But yeah, I've literally grown up on YouTube, and I think my audience has definitely grown up with me. Like if I meet people out in public, they're often like also in their 20s like me, or there's a lot of families where people's, you know, been, oh my gosh, I'm getting to the stage now where people that are my age or maybe a few years older than me are now bringing their children to meet and greets, which is wild. So there we go. Anyway, so yeah, what even was the question? I can't remember. It was, do I get bored? No, because if I did, then I'd just, you know, make content about something else. So there we go. Maybe that's what they mean by, I don't know, because I still, obviously horses are a huge part of my life, and I think I will forever come up with ideas of what to do with the horses because they have their own stories, you know. Casper, we've had a right old journey together if you guys have followed us along for many, many years. So there we go. That's that. You never know, there might be new horses, new adventures. We will see. What is my favourite Lemure colour? Because so many people have asked me this. Also, when I do meet and greets, that is also a question that I get asked all the time. Now, my cop-out answer for this has to be the corn blue collection that I did, because obviously that's the one that I designed. You know, that's the colour that I chose, the colour that I picked. It's also a very cute colour that suits all coloured horses. I feel like, oh, that's Casper's lips. I was like, what is that weird noise? And it's Casper eating his swinger. But yes, but if I had to say a colour that's not the one that I chose, I love all the pastel colours. Like, I'm gonna have to, there's so many nice ones. I do like a green, actually. I do like a green. The Alpine, I do really like. I think that's really nice. It's very like a country kind of colour as well. But no, actually, rewind. Blossom, pastel pink, love it. One of my favourite colours. I love pastel pinks, dark greens. Those sort of colours are my favourite. If you couldn't tell by like my channel kind of colours, I guess. So yeah, I think it might have to be the Blossom, actually. Ooh. Loopiloo_1112 says, how do you get so confident public speaking when you say you used to be so shy? Love your videos. I'm still quite a shy person. For example, like at the gym, I've been going to the gym regularly, which I've actually been really enjoying. But I've got to the stage now where I've been going quite often that regulars start chatting to me, and I'm like, I'm still quite shy. Like I'm just like, whoa. Wasn't expecting someone to talk to me today. Do you know what I mean? But no, I would say, especially like growing up doing social media, that has made me a very confident person. I remember one of my first times I ever did public speaking, actually, was at the Pony Club conference in front of Princess Anne and about 500 Pony Club mums, which I feel like is a tough crowd, you know. If you're going to be nervous, do it. I was nervous in front of Pony Club mums. Anyway, moving on. And I remember at this sort of time, I had just done my GCSE French and Spanish speaking exams. And I remember being like very nervous about doing that. And then actually, by the time this big public speaking event came around, I was like, wait a minute, I'm speaking in my own language. So that's less scary. I don't know. I think also you just have to pretend that you're just talking to a friend or one person, and I still get nervous. Like I spoke at Spoga last year, which is like a big horse expo in Germany, about equestrian content creators and businesses, and that was live streamed in front of a huge crowd of people, also a lot of very high up people in their kind of sectors. So that was nerve-wracking. And you know, before any public speaking, even at the National Equine Show the other day where I was doing like a live Q&A, I still get like a little bit nervous. I get that adrenaline rush, and I think hello Joey, thank you for interrupting me. I don't think you ever stop getting nervous. You just get more used to being nervous, if that makes sense. So I think that's probably my best advice. Also, I have like a little mantra that I tell myself before I do a public speaking event, and that is speak slow, speak clear. Because a lot of the time when you're a little bit nervous, you're going to speak faster, and just give yourself time. If you speak slower, then you have more time for your brain to think, and also speak clearly as well, and confidently. Confidence is, my dad would always tell me growing up, you've got to fake it till you make it. Nobody is born with confidence. It's something that, it's like a trick. Like you can be a super shy person like I am, but if you pretend to be confident, then eventually you will become confident. That's the best advice I've probably ever been given. So there we go. Fake it till you make it. Boom. Also, if you go up acting like super shy or super nervous, then it's not going to come across as a good talk or a good presentation. If that's for you're presenting a thing at class or at work, if you go up there, act super confident, like you know what you're doing, then that will help you. I often find also sometimes speaking in front of a bigger crowd easier than, like I remember at school, if I ever had to do like public reading or like reading in front of the class, oof, hated that. But yeah, it's one of those things you just have to fake it till you make it and do lots of it to build up that experience. Well, my bridle is now looking, oh no, I dropped it. Wait a sec, get that a little clean. All right, Joey's bridle is all now nice and clean. So I am going to pop that in the tack room and get something else to clean for the rest of the questions. Yes, nice and clean. Oh my gosh, have you eaten? You have destroyed your swinger, Joseph. Where's it gone? Is it gone in your tummy? Yes, because it's not on the floor. I mean, there's a bit on the floor that he's hoovering up, but it's pretty much all gone. Casper, he still has a load left. You having a break? He's gone for his haylage, which is a bit more easy accessible. I am back, and I have some girths to clean. So we'll go for the dressage girth first, actually, because that I've been using the most often, and it is the most dirty. So this is from Atilies.equines, and she says, what place around the world would you really like to see one day? I think at the top of my list at the moment. Oh, wait, which ones? Yeah, sorry, I was sniffing the sponges to see which one was which. I would say actually at the top of my list right now is New Zealand, because I've had a lot of friends that have gone and worked out there. Wait, I need to swap back to my soap. I'm getting muddled and mixed up. But I have heard that it is such a beautiful country, and I've also got quite a lot of followers in New Zealand as well, so shout out to Team New Zealand out there. Also, I would love to do like a trip to that side of the world. I mean, it's literally for me the other side of the world, like the furthest away point pretty much. So I would also really like to go to Japan, because that, or like places in Asia, because that is the part of the world that I've never been to before. I have spent a day or two in Singapore when I was 8, but apart from that, as a stop-off point when we went to Australia when I was younger, because we were actually thinking of moving out there when I was younger. But anyway, so yes, I would say Japan, like going to Tokyo. Also, all the countryside in Japan looks beautiful. All the mountains and all that kind of stuff. So, and the wildlife as well. Like, I don't know, it just seems like a part of the world that's so different to the UK that I would love to experience and see the culture and I don't know, that kind of thing, because I do like to travel, but also I hate being away from my horses. So but yes, I would say that I would love to do like a trip where I maybe go to Japan first and then go to New Zealand. I think that would be very cool. I also got asked, what obscure animals really freak you out, which I feel like is a fun question. So I don't know, I would say when it comes to animals, I am pretty like fearless, if that makes sense. Like, I don't have any big phobias. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of wasps, just because I got stung by a wasp when I was younger and my whole face swelled up, so I think I am like mildly allergic to them. So I would probably say wasps. Like, I don't know, I wouldn't want to be near a wasp, you know. Like sharks, I don't mind, I've swam with sharks before, that kind of stuff doesn't freak me out. Snakes don't freak me out either. Tell you what does freak me out though, which is a very obscure animal actually, so it goes well with this question. And that is cone shells. If you don't know what a cone shell is, maybe it's because I was like mildly traumatized as a kid. So as I said before, me and my family were thinking of moving to Australia when I was younger. So we had a little trip out there when I was younger. And before we went on this trip, my parents were like, because obviously Australia, you guys in Team Australia, shout out to you guys as well. You have a lot of wildlife that seems quite scary. But most of my friends before I went to Australia were like, oh, you scared of the spiders? You scared of the snakes? You scared of the, I don't know, cassowaries? Aren't they supposed to be quite, you know, lethal? Anyway, no. Actually, I didn't know what a cassowary was until I went out there. I feel like that's an animal that unless you're in Australia, you don't really know what a cassowary is. Anyway, they're like a big ostrich with a horn on their head. I think that's the best way to describe it. Anyway, no, cone shells, because I remember my mum and dad showed me a video on YouTube when I was about 8 of a cone shell, and them saying to me, Esme, do not touch or pick up any shells. If you don't know what a cone shell is, basically it's the shell that has, I don't know, it's like a little proby, fingery, like little worm thing that sticks out, and if you touch it, it will go boom, puncture your skin, venom, I'm pretty sure it's venom, venom goes in, and it's lethal. So I was like, you know what? I think cone shells probably freak me out a lot. Like I wouldn't, somebody said you have to touch a cone shell. I think that would make my heart go a little pitter-patter, you know? So maybe I've just unlocked a new fear for everyone. I mean, it's only for my Australians, which you guys probably already know what that is. I mean, it's only a shell, Esme. How can you be scared of a shell? Well, there we go. I'm scared of cone shells. Oh, this is actually a really good question. This is from Emma Lama _EQ. I'm really sorry, I'm pronouncing everyone's names wrong, but you know who you are, Emma. This question's from you. If you feel like you're behind everybody your age, how should you deal with it? I think this is a question that's, I mean, a really good question for anyone at any age, because I mean, I've felt like this when I was younger with horse riding. I think when you're at school, especially, you're kind of put in your age group, like everyone in your class is kind of like your age, and you know, like even just things like from as young as primary school, like you have your reading age and everyone should be like up to this kind of like standards. Or for example, and then when you do things like pony club or go out competing, I think, and especially with social media, it's really easy to compare yourself to others. And I remember when I was younger watching people on social media, I was like, oh my gosh, this person is 3 years younger than me and they're competing like at a way higher level than me. Oh my gosh, I'm so behind, and all this kind of stuff. And I think when you get older, you kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think when you get older, you kind of realize actually everybody is born at like a different stage. Like some people have a head start for whatever reason in life, and everybody has a different pathway. Like some people's might be easier, some people's might be rocky. Everyone has a different pathway or a different journey. So I would say focus on yourself, stay in your lane. For example, I really enjoy running. I've been really getting into running lately, and I love like seeing if I get a new personal best or that kind of thing. But I'm not out here looking to do any races. I'm not out here looking to like race anybody or like try and beat anybody. I just like going out, having some fun, doing my own thing. And I think also you've got to remember that everybody is different. Every horse is different as well. So if you have, you're going to have a different relationship. And also when I look back to my time with Mickey, I don't look back and think, oh, my favourite memories are when we won this show or competed at this show or, you know, jumped our highest jump. I look back and think of, you know, feeding him in the morning and him making his cute little noise, or us when we did some bareback together out on the paddock or tackless, or when I used to take him to the village shop for cake. Obviously he didn't have the cake, he would have carrots, but you know, things like that. And I think when you get older, you just kind of realise what the important things in life are. So yeah, don't compare yourself to others. I think also that is a question that's really good for people kind of my age, especially if you're also in your 20s. I know a lot of my audience is, like my main audience is 18 to 25. And I think in your 20s is a really weird age, again, because you finish school where everyone's like does their exams at the same time or has prom at the same time, or, you know, things like that. And then suddenly everybody goes off in so many different directions. Some people go to uni, some people start an apprenticeship, some people go straight into work, some people have a gap year. Like everybody goes in kind of different directions. And I think it's quite easy with social media to compare yourself to others. Like, I have friends who are getting engaged, or some people like my age are having kids and things like that. And I think it's very easy to compare yourself, where some people might be ahead in some aspects of your life, but you actually might be happier or more ahead in other aspects. Or it really is like one of those things, like the game of life. Your life can go in so many different directions, but at the end of the day, stay in your lane, focus on you, focus on your goals, and just have fun, because that's what life is all about, which I know is so cheesy to say, but you know, I think also, yeah, there's just so many different ways where you can compare. And what's the quote? Comparison is the thief of joy. So there we go. There might be people that are going out competing on a new, more expensive horse every half a year or so, but you might just have this one horse. You might not be competing the highest. You might not have the most rosettes, but you might have the most incredible bond and relationship with that horse that other person doesn't have. So remember that. Or you might be at a riding stables or a riding school and have so many amazing friends, which is one thing that, like, I was so lucky that I did pony club, so I had friends that way. But yeah, that's one thing that I kind of miss now I'm older, is my pony friends. A lot of my friends, they've gone off here, there and everywhere across the country. Some of my friends don't ride anymore. So I still have some pony friends, but not as many as I did when I was younger. So if you are younger, appreciate your pony friends. Ooh, okay, so this is quite a cute one. This is from Ruth Bateson, and they ask, what is my favourite book? Which I feel like is a quite big question, actually. I think, well, obviously I've got my books that I've written. Sorry, I hate to be that YouTuber that's like, guys, have you seen my book? Have you read my book? I'm sorry. But I'm going to quickly answer that question, because a lot of people also ask me, is there going to be another book? So there is going to be, wait, let me put that down. There is going to be another book on the Starlight Stables gang. It is with my editors at the moment at Penguin. We're just making a few little adjustments and changes, but hopefully the plan is this summer for book 4 to be out. It's about Daniel. A lot of people have guessed that. So it's about Daniel and his kind of story. So the story continues. I don't know, I say this every time, but each time I'm like, this is my new favourite book. This is my new favourite book. To be fair, I do really like Ellie's story of my characters, but you know, there might be some exciting stuff with the Starlight Stables gang coming that I can't tell you about, but hint, hint, wink, wink, if you know what I mean. But no, favourite book, like personally, I think, actually, I'm going to have to say The Hunger Games, because it's a series that I grew up with that really like got me into reading. It was like my first kind of like chapter book series that I just absolutely love, like the films. Again, I was that kind of like age group. And also, there's the new film that's come out, the new book that's come out, and there's, the new one that's literally come out a few days ago at the time of recording. So no spoilers if you have read it all in like one day, but I am going to have to read that soon. I'm currently reading Onyx Storm, which is the Fourth Wing series. For any of my book talk or any of my book people, book girlies and guys and anything, yes, that's what I'm reading at the moment. So there we go. I feel like your reading preferences, oh no, I'm getting dirt, this table. I tried to find a tablecloth for filming this video, and I could not find one anywhere for the life of me. I think my mum's hidden them somewhere, probably because she doesn't want me using them for horsey stuff. Maybe I need to invest into a channel tablecloth, because at the moment all the little bits of wood is coming onto my poor girth here. This girth has seen stuff, you know. This girth it's lived a hard life, so I'm sure like right now it's like, yes, oil me. It was probably is so happy to be moisturized. There we go. Look how shiny that is. There we go. I'm just gonna let that soak in. Brilliant. Okay, what other questions do we have? Because I need to oil my other girth now. Boom, now it's clean. What was my first ever fall? And that's from Hattie_loves_musical_, and I think it says theatre at the end, but it's ... because you have a very long username. But Hattie, what was my first ever fall? Goodness, we're getting a little throwback now. I think I was about 8, I want to say. It was before I had Mickey, and it was on my lone pony Bradley, and we were actually jumping right now, like in this bit that I'm sitting, because it was before we had the stables. It was just a field, and we had makeshift jumps made out of old kind of fencing posts and rubber tires we use as kind of like jump wings. And I turned too tight towards the jump, and Bradley did a little sideways shuffle, being like, "Girl, why have you turned me too tight to this jump?" I mean, younger Esme was probably a little bit too adventurous for maybe with that tight turn, and I went out the side door and I fell off. I remember actually being so excited that I fell off, which I don't know if that's like sad or not, but I remember I went for so long without falling off, because I started to learn to ride when I was 5. So that's like a good couple of years without falling off. And I had like lots of friends that had been like riding since birth, and they were like, "You're not a proper rider because you haven't fallen off 7 or 8 times or whatever it is," which is absolute rubbish. Not true. Anyone is a rider if they ride horses. It doesn't matter what level you're at. It doesn't make you a proper rider. It just, you know, maybe makes you a more experienced rider, but I wouldn't say it makes you a proper rider anyway. Yes, I was quite excited because I was like, yes, I've done it. I've finally fallen off, which I don't know if that would be most normal people's reaction. A lot of the time they'll be like, "Oh no, I fell off." Like, that wasn't very fun. I remember doing a roly-poly and getting back up and being like, "Okay, let's do it again." So yeah, that was young Esme's reaction to falling off for the first time, I guess. I am back with Casper's girth because, oh my gosh, look at the fluff. He's really like shedding and molting at the moment. So I just know I'm going to be, oh, for a second I thought my mic was Casper's fluff, and I was like, wow, that was a big bit of fluff. Didn't see that. No, we have a white mic now, very fancy. We've upgraded, because a lot of this time I am wearing like more like pastel or light coloured stuff, especially in the summer. So I don't know, let me know what you think of my little white mic we have here. Normally I have like a darker coloured one, which I guess like stands out a bit more. It's a little bit more subtle with the white. Okay, what other questions do we have? Ooh, where is it? There's one that I really want to answer, but I can't find it. I have my little page on my phone of all my questions. Okay, so the question is, am I going to get a dog? And I need my tack cleaning stuff. And the answer is yes. So I'm planning on hopefully rehoming or adopting a dog when I come back from the US. So I do have a US trip coming up where I'm going to Kentucky, which is going to be super fun. Hopefully seeing lots of you guys there at my meet and greet. And then after that, I'm going to New York, where I'm doing some fashiony bits. I'm also hopefully going to do like a New York vlog for you guys. I feel like that could be really fun. So let me know if you would like to see that, my little New York adventures. But anyway, so yes, the plan is once I'm back from New York, I don't actually have like any travel plans coming up or any like big trips. There's like a few like day trip kind of things, but I don't have any like huge travel plans. So that would be the perfect time to have a new addition to the family, get a dog, because obviously when you get a new animal, you number one have to make sure that when you get any animal, add any animal or pet to your family, you need to make sure that you give them the best life possible. So obviously while they're settling in, I don't want to be traveling here, there and everywhere. I mean, I feel like I'm not really going to do that much super big travel for a long time, for a little bit. I'm going to be staying in the country, staying around. So anyway, that is the plan. So keep your eyes peeled for dog content, animal content. I'm also filming a really super cute series with the RSPCA very soon, where I'm going to be filming at a lot of their rehoming centres, their wildlife centres. There's going to be like a little seal. I think I'm most excited for the seal rescue and rehabilitation episode, where we might be releasing some seals into the wild. They've got hedgehogs, so many cute stuff. We also might be going to their reptile centre as well, where they have tortoises, bearded dragons, all that kind of stuff. Because I know a lot of you guys absolutely love animals like I do, as well as horses. So I think that would be some like super fun content and something like a little bit different. Of course, there's still going to be lots of horsey stuff. You guys know that these are my fluffy children and they are the biggest part of my life. So do not worry, but just thought I'd put that out there because I know that some people would be quite interested in that. _Shuttleworth_Molly_ says, would you ever have any smaller animals like rabbits? Oh my goodness, I would love to. At the moment, obviously sometimes small animals Don't mix with the dog, so I think the dog would probably be more what I'm looking for, but I basically spent my whole childhood with guinea pigs. I had rabbits first, so I had rabbits when I was about 5, 5 I want to say, and then guinea pigs just suited our life better. Sorry to all the rabbit people, but I do think guinea pigs are better pets than rabbits. Maybe it's just my ones, but I love guinea pigs. They are so cute. They're so cuddly. So yeah, we were also the sort of family where I think a lot of people get guinea pigs and then their children decide, you know what, they're not actually very exciting anymore. So at primary school, we were that family that basically took on everyone's guinea pigs who didn't want them anymore. And we've also rescued guinea pigs in the past and rehomed them. So I would say guinea pigs are probably my favorite small animal. They are so cute. We've also had guinea pigs that have had babies, like everything. So I'm gonna have to say, yeah, I would love to have guinea pigs again one day. Probably, yeah, not anytime soon. It's one of those things, I would love to have guinea pigs again when I have children one day, because I think they're me and my brother literally spent our whole childhood sitting on the sofa, watching telly with a guinea pig on our lap, often on a blanket because they do wee a lot. Feeding them like cucumber and carrot sticks and that kind of thing. So, yeah, I would say guinea pigs, love them. Not anytime soon, but would love to get some again at some stage in my life. Alrighty, I've cleaned literally almost all my tack. I mean, apart from my saddles, but it doesn't really work with the setup, and they are actually already clean, FYI. So yeah, this is your sign to clean your tack. Also, I did a little short the other day about my gloves, because this is your sign to wash your riding gloves as well if you ride with gloves. Because I'll be honest, I didn't realise how long it had gone since I washed them, and they were so stinky. So anyway, on that note, I hope you enjoyed today's Q&A. I will try and do another one sometime, because I unfortunately did not answer all the questions. There were literally thousands. So if you did ask a question, thank you. Really do appreciate it. I tried to answer as many as possible, and also the ones that sort of came up the most. So anyway, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Again, let me know in the comments what videos you would like to see. I'm thinking of doing lots of different series over the summer. Could be good fun. But yes, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff. Watch another video from me afterwards. I will try and put some videos up on screen or little iCards for you all. And I will see you all next time. Bye! You can say bye, Caspy. I think both horses are very full right now. Very sleepy and full. Oh, you got some shavings in your... Boop!